Right now, I don't know where my husband is. He could be in one of three places, which is in Cleveland.
Families in chaos after immigration officials arrest more than 100 people at once. The big sting today in Sandusky happened at Corso's Flower and Garden Center.
The agency told us they arrested 114 people from two of the business's locations today. Witnesses say officers rounded them up, then separated them based on where they were born. We have team coverage this evening. Lena Lai in Sandusky, where families are still digesting what happened.
But first, Chris Ty just got new information about what led to this big sting. Chris, what do you know?
Russ and Sarah, some lucky workers got a heads up over about what was about to happen today. The unlucky learned quickly that their stay in the U.S. was ending just as the helicopters arrived overhead. Tonight, inside the takedown, a Channel 3 exclusive on the small-town forgery mill that started it all. Before the workday ever began, the American experience ended today for these 114 workers in Erie County. The raid by Immigrations and Customs Enforcement that's likely to send most of these people back to Mexico began not here in Sandusky, but 65 miles south in Marion, Ohio. It was here that the feds say 44-year-old Martha Buenida Chavarria operated a document mill, producing Social Security cards, lawfully admitted permanent resident cards, state driver's licenses, identification cards, state birth certificates, and Puerto Rican birth certificates that appeared to be issued by the United States. Who were her clients exactly?
Somebody that was looking for some fraudulent documents to, turn into an employer.
Sources say she would bring the dead back to life through her paperwork or steal the identities of those in Puerto Rico to get people to work here at Corso's Flower and Garden Center, the site of today's raid. Tonight, we can tell you the 114 people taken into custody are in St. Clair County, Michigan, Seneca County, Ohio, and the Youngstown area. But what about the company? As viewer Marie Ellis asks, will the owners be penalized for knowingly hiring undocumented immigrants? Sources tell Channel 3 tonight the company was flagged for only paying Uncle Sam payroll tax for about half of their employees.
Today's effort was essentially the opening salvo in the investigation. There's, considerable amount of, investigation that has to follow this.
How much the company knew is still being dug into, and the answer to that question will determine the seriousness of that penalty. A massive amount of documents taken from the garden centers today. Sources tell us company owners and managers likely to face charges for harboring the undocumented and fraud. As for the workers, they will be split now into two separate groups. Those immediately sent back and those facing stiffer charges for crimes of forgery and repeated illegal entry into this country. Chris Ty, Channel 3 News.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot.